Hey everybody, Rosematter here, and welcome to my new React series. So I recently wrapped up Arcane, and I asked on my community page what you guys would like to see me do a react to next, and the winner of the poll by a pretty big margin was Serial Experiments Lain. I know this is an anime from the late 90s. I was just a little baby back in the 90s, so I did not watch it. I know of it. I know it's quite a trippy anime. Apparently, not a lot of people have done a react on this, and hopefully, I will do a good job with this. I hope I'm smart enough to be able to understand what's going on because apparently it can be a little bit hard to follow. But we're going to give it a go. So, we're going to be watching the first two episodes, actually. So, I'm going to be going back to my usual thing of doing two episodes per week. So, let's go ahead. We'll watch these two episodes and I will give you guys my thoughts on what I think of this classic anime. So let's get into it. Okay, so we're jumping right into this. There's no opening song. It's just starting. Now this I'm excited for is like a 90s anime. It's been a long time since I've seen this. Like, I love that style. I love that style, although this apparently has its own style, but just like that kind of 90s aesthetic. Oh, gosh. What's. I thought that was like blood all around her, but I don't think so. Oh, what the heck? Okay. Alright, already pretty trippy. Okay. Why you should do that? Oh boy, I think this is something you should figure out for yourself. I feel like I'm gonna be just being like, what the hell for a lot of this show. I'm already like, what is happening? Wait, what? Okay, what? What the heck is happening? What? I. Is she gonna jump? I don't need to stay in a place like this. She's gonna jump. Oh my gosh. Well, wow. Okay. Holy cow. Starting very strong. And there's still those little like red spots all over the place. Oh my gosh. Okay. And there's the red spots again. Okay. It's like it's being taken over by something, and then there's just the sounds of the power lines. They're focusing on the power lines a lot. If you stay in a place like this, you might not be able to connect. This is so strange. So it's like a merging of worlds or something? Apparently, what I know about it is it focuses a lot on technology. So maybe that's it. Is like she's not even like, does she see this, or is this just like this is for the audience watching as like a, is it showing like the difference between like the real world and the digital world? And there's the sounds of the power lines again. This is trip. This is trippy as heck. Wow. Okay, interesting. Is she talking about the racket, the sound of like that, the power lines? Is she hearing that? Or because like the people didn't really seem like they were talking. Yeah, like that's really been they're really like drilling into that whole thing about like the power lines. Like maybe connecting, like it's connecting like the power lines connect people through technology. I feel like this is very philosophical, and like I don't know how much I'm going to be able to follow it. I'm going to try my best. It's just really, really creepy. Everybody hurry. So it seems like she's not quite. She definitely seems like an outsider, like a little bit of a loner. Oh, here we go. Email. Back when that was like a kind of a obscure thing, maybe not super obscure. Oh, her eyes are. Oh, it's just like she. It's like she's just staring, but nothing's really behind the eyes. Okay. Oh, okay. So they're getting emails from her, but she's already. Yeah, she's already dead. It will be really interesting to see. Like, I'm sure this show is going to have a lot to say about the internet and technology, coming from like the late '90s. Is like it'll be interesting to see what their idea of it is and how that kind of like if it holds up, to like today's standards, or like how well it predicted it, or if it's just gonna be completely off. I have to say the sound in this is really good and creepy, and also what is happening? What? Like the sound seems to really be playing a lot like with the sound of the power lines, um, the sound of just like the background noises. What is it like when you die? I don't know what's happening. It really hurts. Oh, are these the emails? Are those the emails that are coming from what was her name? Chiwa? Chisa? This is bad. I'm already like I should be paying better attention. The girl who died. So I'm assuming if that's the case, it's just what she's saying about like people won't be able to connect, um, reaching out to people. And also just yeah, like the whole outside world with like it being white. It feels like there's a lot of whites, and it just feels very empty. Like her, like I don't know, everything looks kind of slightly off, and still it's very quiet. Maybe that's why she said, like stop causing a racket because she seems like very quiet. She lives a very quiet life. Is that her? Is that the computer? It's interesting looking computer. Oh my gosh, look, I am gonna enjoy this. I'm gonna enjoy seeing like this, the 90s computers. Except I wonder if this is supposed to be like a futuristic version of it. Like if this feels like pretty high tech for what, 98 when this came out? I wonder, did she know Chisa at all, or is Chisa just sending it out to everybody from beyond the grave? Okay, I guess this answers the questions. They didn't really know each other. Oh man, are we going to be getting into like religious philosophical stuff as well? I'm like, I feel like I might not be like this might be going into things that I'm just like it's going to be too much for me, too metaphorical. I'll try my best to try and figure out what's happening. Oh, and it seems like the family is not like even so it's still very quiet at even at like at home at meals like they don't really talk. And her mom's not even nothing from that. It's so creepy. Geez, this feels like a very sterile home. So maybe she doesn't seem to have many connections with people uh, in this world. So maybe she will like reach further and further into the digital world and like maybe become obsessed with Chisa. Maybe want to follow her. Okay, well, her dad's definitely into computers. My goodness, I have to imagine back in that day how expensive that must have been. I love her little bear onesie also. Even just the way like the family talks to each other, it's almost like robotic. There's just like there's no emotion there. It's creepy. So a Navi, is that like that computer that she has? Oh my god, it's like Internet Explorer, like the old school one. Oh, I love it. Or like Outlook. There's that thing about connections again. Is her dad like just obsessed with being on the computer? Yeah. I guess he probably just holds himself up in here and just they don't talk to each other. It doesn't seem like a very happy household. She gonna tell her dad about the dead girl's email? Okay. Interesting that with her mom, she came right out and said like, "I got an email from a dead girl," and then with the dad, she's a little bit more, uh, oh, not quite as like forward about it. Uh oh, did somebody else die? There's the whiteness again, right? It's just and the lines she can just hear. Oh, she can. Oh, that's where the red's coming from. Okay, trippy. So before I was wondering because she seemed to be like nonplussed about it, but I'm like now she's seeing it. What's the term for something about is it like liminal spaces? I've seen stuff about that. Is that kind of like this style? It's very eerie. It's just like it feels empty. Everything feels a little bit off. Like this is so creepy. I don't think it's this isn't a horror show. I don't think it is. It's just unnerving. It's definitely strange. Oh, is that a train? Is she standing on the train tracks right now? She said she wants to go see her friend. Maybe she wants to die. And then she can meet her friend on the other side in the digital world. And once again, there's moments too where it's just like that happens where she's talking, like, but no sounds coming out. Oh, geez. Come to the wired as soon as you can. Oh gosh, it does feel like is something's pulling her to the other side. But he's like, kill yourself, and then you can be somewhere better. I don't know. So far, oh, okay, that's it. So far, like the best way I can describe this is it feels like some weird kind of fever dream. Okay. All right. Girls. Siberia. I don't come here because I want to. All right. I'm assuming this is still Chisa's her emails? Oh, wait, what? I guess there's some underground weird bars out there, but okay. 10,000 yen, what a ripoff. The going price is only around 4,000. Okay, I'm assuming this is something else completely different. We call it uh, Axela? Arala? It's not exactly a drug, but you have to jump through the same kind of hoops to get it. It looks like a drug to me. Whoa, what is this? Looks like a little bug? Looks like either a bug or like a computer part or so that is that gonna go in your body? What? It's definitely something like electronic. Okay. Is that something that allows you to go into the wired? Feels like you're in another world. I, once again, very confused right off the bat. I don't know, it seems like a drug to me, but I feel accelerated. Is that what it's called? Accelera or whatever it's called? Wait, is that looked like Lain? That's her hair, right? That's what? What in the world? Hurry up, come to me. Okay, so that sounds like Chisa. I was like, Lain seemed a little young to be in a place like that. And there's the sound, the humming again of the wires. It's just the way everybody talks in this world is just so creepy. It feels like they're not quite human. I don't know. There's just no emotion behind it. I'm sure that's meant to be intentional. And there's that creepy world again. I was trying to think of what this reminded me of. It's definitely less creepy than Saya no Uta, but it's kind of giving me those vibes of this like the world looks so different from what it should look like. Oh, speaking of creepy, doing a great job at hiding. She's, oh my gosh, that is, no, I don't like that at all. She's braver than me. I'd be like, I guess I'm not going to school today. Nope. Well, at least somebody's being nice to Lain, because, yeah, like from the first episode, it seemed like she's not exactly popular. It seems like she doesn't really have any close connections with anybody. Her eyes just freak me out. Oh, is that girl that was at the club? It certainly did look like her. Okay. So I was like, nobody thought to invite Lain. A lot like her, actually. She's like, you don't go out. You're a loser. So maybe is there like another version of Lain out there? I don't know what to think about her. It just feels like you can't quite connect with her. It feels like she just, I don't know, like she's so different from all the other like main characters or protagonists of shows that I've watched. It's like a cybernetic futuristic artificial drug. So I'm wondering if they are going to talk about like, who is she? Is she even who she thinks she is? Is there another version of her? Does she even remember? Because she even said last night I was like, she didn't even finish it. Like she didn't even know what she was doing last night. Oh, let's have fun at Siberia tonight from Arisu. Oh man, those old school phones. Oh, I'll pass on tonight. I want to see her go to the club actually. I wonder if she's just becoming obsessed with like waiting for Chisa to get back to her. Everyone is connected. Is that dude gonna show up again? That's gonna be really freaky. Oh, is that him? I don't like that. Maybe it's a guy stalking her that was at that Siberia place. Oh, no, this is a different guy, but whoa, he looks really freaky too. Oh, that's. Oh, I thought that was a dude. I was like, is that a. What is going on? What? Oh, I was like, is that. I'm not sure if that's Chisa. It doesn't quite look like her. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to be saying that a lot. Have a counter. Take a non alcoholic drink every time. I'm probably going to be saying, like, I don't understand what's happening. I don't know what's going on right now. Oh, I wonder if it's. Wonder if it's a computer. Because she asked for what was it called, a Navi, which I'm assuming is like a little computer, or it's quite a few. Yep, it's right there. It says Navi. Damn, they must have some money. I like, especially electronics, right? They can't be very cheap. Okay, so the Wired. I thought like the Wired was. I guess that's just what they call the internet. Yeah, I thought the Wired was maybe just like a term only Chisa knew. But I guess that's just what they call like the internet. I don't know why the little bear onesie just. She's just like seems like such a serious character, and then she just has her cute little onesie on. Everything in this just feels a little off. Like, I mean, it's nice to see that there's some affection going on. I figured like the dad basically would just hole himself up in his room and not hang out with any of the family. Jeez. Oh no, he had the glasses flash. That usually means something bad's about to happen. What's up with that sister? There's something going on with her. this whole, the whole vibe of this is just, it feels just so off. I'm guessing that's to be like, come to the club with us. I want to see her go. I want to see her go to Siberia. Maybe try that drug. Lain, where are you? Everybody's waiting. You have to come. Yeah, let me show up in my bear onesie. The height of fashion. No, she's just going to be like, she's getting further and further deeper into this. Why won't you come? Oh, is she going to go? It's pretty well. Didn't they say she was in like junior high or something? Like quite young. It seems like it's for lots of young people, but there's definitely some adults there too. I know that there's like kind of like teenage clubs, but it seems a little hardcore. Hey, nothing wrong with that. That's definitely me. I was just like, no, I'd rather be in bed. She's like, hey, be thankful I didn't show up in my bear onesie, okay? Could have been worse. At least that one girl seems to be nice to her. You know what? I can understand why people kind of don't really like talk to Lain very much. It's like talking to a brick wall. It just feels like she's doesn't really let people in. Here we go. We got something going on here. Oh, there's that liquid again that she saw dripping out of the wires. What the fuck? Okay, now we go. All right, so now things are happening. RC really like she's a real one. She's actually she cares about like that's not the guy. I was like, that's not the delivery guy, is it? I don't think so. She's looking at him like I know it's because of that stuff, but it almost seems like she's seen him before. Or is that the guy that was tripping out before? Oh, why are you making me do this? The guy who took the drug and then he what is scattered gods? This is what? I'd be freaked out too if I saw this just young girl not even phased by a gun. Oh, there's the thing. Oh, she is talking like that one before where they're like, we thought that we saw Lain, but she talked very different from you. Oh, she gonna kill himself? I was thinking, I was like, I bet he's gonna shoot himself. Like, she's gonna freak him out. And she's not even phased. What the hell? Or maybe she is. I don't know. I don't know what to think of her. She's just so casual about it. What? Okay. What? All right. So, what are my thoughts after watching the first two episodes? This is definitely a different show than I'm used to watching and reacting to in many ways. It's slower paced. There's a lot of quiet moments. I'm assuming intentionally done, maybe to show the isolation of Lain and just maybe the grayness, the dullness of the real world compared to The Wired, which I'm assuming is like this world's version of the internet's, where people have like their avatars, because it showed like the father had like a bunch of these characters or something. So maybe it's a whole thing about like people, how they are in real life versus on the internet's, different facets of their personalities, maybe even like they're completely separate people, as shown in how Lain was very different, or a version of her that seemed to be at that club, and even at the end of the second episode of like how she spoke. There's a lot of subtleties, a lot of like, I'm sure, philosophical, or it's speaking to things about technology. I kept saying over and over about how everybody's connected. Maybe once again the whole thing about like Lain, she doesn't really seem to connect with people in the real world. She has a group of what I assume are her friends. The one girl, what was her name, Arisu? She seemed to be the only one that was nicer to Lain, considering that they didn't invite her out to the club. Maybe because they just figured she would never come. She's definitely like more of a childish, withdrawn, maybe socially inept character. But then we see that other side of her that was at the club and who speaks in a different way. The thing they said, like when she goes to the club, she like does a 180. Maybe there's something to that about like she is a different person. And then of course, opening very strong slash kind of effed up with like the girl committing suicide, but like wanting to go to the wire, wanting to go beyond. Chisa, I believe, was the student's name, who didn't really seem to have a connection with Lain. She said that like we walked home once, so it's not like they were friends or anything. But Lain seems to be very fascinated with Chisa's email and wanting to maybe go to the Wired with her. So, and the whole thing about like God is here in the Wired. It's just like there's a whole bunch, and I've said this multiple times. I feel like I won't be smart enough to catch on to most of the things that they're going to probably be symbolizing in this show. It seems like there's a lot of symbolism going on here. I am hoping I'm catching some things at least. I'm hoping I'm trying to make sense of stuff. But yes, for the most part, the animes that I have been reacting to have been relatively easy to follow. They have had kind of like symbolism and things that they want to say about the world. But this is, maybe it's because it's an older anime, but I think it's also just that much more out there, that this feels like a fever dream. It feels like I'm trying to understand what's going on, and it almost is like fighting me. I'm just like, I'm really like trying to push through and be like, okay, can I try and understand what's going on? Whether things will clear up more in later episodes, I don't know. Somehow I have a feeling it's probably just going to get more confusing. But hopefully I had a decent reaction to the first two episodes. It's definitely different. I'm liking it for the most part. It is a little bit frustrating that I feel like I don't quite. It's almost like Lain herself. I said about like as a protagonist. It feels like there's not much to grab onto there, and maybe that's the whole purpose of it. Is she just feels like a blank, just like a blank avatar or something. And maybe when she goes to the Wired, maybe things will change. Maybe she will become more of a assertive, more personable character. Like just something to grab onto, It's just like the quiet moments. I know they're meant to be there on purpose, but it makes you uncomfortable. Like the whole whiteness of the space, the grayness, Lain herself looking at the world. It just feels like there's just no color to it. Her herself, like her family, there, it just feels like there's no connection, and there was a whole thing about like everybody's connected, so maybe that's why she wants to reach out to the Wired. Maybe she doesn't feel the connections to people in this world, and maybe things will be different in the Wired, and that's why she's so interested in going there and finding out what the Wired is. I'm guessing that's it. And the sound design was really interesting. I liked it. I liked the kind of the humming of the wires of like the power lines, and it's definitely going on about like connecting the internet, all that stuff. Just a lot of like quiet moments, the liminal spaces, the lack of color. It's all there for a reason, and I'm sure someone smarter than me can go into better detail about like what that represents and everything. But I'm sure there's some stuff I am missing here. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. It's a slow burn. Definitely more so than a lot of the other shows that I have watched. But yeah, hopefully I'm doing it justice. I want to know what you guys think. Without spoiling things, of course. If this is your first time watching it along with me, if you're late to the party like I am with this a show that came out decades ago, or if you're rewatching it, maybe there's some things that you didn't pick up on that maybe you know now, or just things in general I may have missed. Feel free to comment. I hope you did enjoy the first 2 episodes of my reaction to it. And of course, stay tuned next week for episodes 3 and 4. And I hope to see you guys for that one. Until then, bye. Special shoutouts to my top tier patrons: Emily Hornsby, Lady of Eternity, Revealing Storm, Asborn Kennedy, Jared Fan, Harry Gazif, Icognito, and Zoran Ether.